Let's go CME NOC contract, NOC futures. CME is short for Chicago Mercantile Exchange. And first, let's go to specs. Each contract is 2 million Norwegian kroner or multiples. So if you want to do 3 million, you're out of luck. You can do 2, 4, 6, 8, what have you. And the margins are uh, for each contract, whether you're short or long, you have to put 6,800 US dollars into your margin account. Now, let's look at the current quotes. And in US based exchanges, the prices on futures contracts are always value of one foreign currency in US dollars. So if you see 0.0952, that means one Norwegian krone buys you 9.52 cents, or 100 kroner buys you $9.52. Okay, that's the exchange rate. So in a sense, at this price, what's the value of the contract? One contract, 2 million times 0.0952. So each contract is roughly worth $190,000, and you need to put a 6,800 collateral for that. So if you think about it, where is 1 over X? So you're putting about 3.5% of the contract value as collateral. That's the margin. Those margins are higher in terms of percentage for currency pairs or currencies that are deemed to be more volatile. I mean, let's look at, for example, Swiss franc CME futures. I shouldn't even have to make an argument that Swiss franc is probably not as volatile as NOK. Specs contract size is 125,000 Swiss francs. Margin per contract is 3,700, and current quote is 1 Swiss franc buys you 1.19055 US dollar. So that's 125,000. So that's equal to about 148. Okay. Margin is 3,700. 1 over X. So for Swiss franc, you put about 2.5% of the collateral. If we did for Turkish lira, you're going to see much bigger. Okay. CME, TRY futures. You're probably thinking, why is it TRY? Did we talk about that here? Because it's Turkish lira, so you would think TRL. Well, until about 2005, that was the case. But in 2005, Turkish government got rid of 6 zeros from the currency. If you had 1,000,000 liras, it became 1 lira. If you had 1 billion lira, it became 1,000 lira. And the new currency at that point was called New Turkish Lira. Later on, the new was removed, but the word for new in Turkish is yeni, which starts with a Y. That's why it's still TRY. Let's see the specs. I don't think there's much trading on this, but it's 1 million Turkish lira. Margin is 7,000. Let's look at the quotes. Last is 0.02 something. 1 million. So you're putting about 26%. Why? Because that currency is a lot more volatile. So exchange kind of is making a determination. The more volatile it is, the more chances that the money in the margin may not be able to cover any losses. But in any case, that margin is daily settled. Let's go back to GBP futures. Not go back to. I picked that because it kind of has a weird contract size. It's kind of a holdover from the old days. Specs, come on. The contract size for a pound is 62,500. When futures were trading, I mean, they started trading in 70s. Typically, the German mark futures, Deutschmark futures, were about 125,000, and pound was about half of that. So it's a holdover from those days. Margins on that is only 1900. So 62.5 times 1.3246. You're actually doing 2.3%. It's even a little bit less than the Swiss franc as margin. But these are daily settled in the following sense. Let's say the what is the current code? 132.46. All right. I opened a long position. A long position means, let's write these down. In a currency futures contract. In fact, same thing is true for forwards as well. Means you benefit from increase in the value of that currency. So a long position in GBP futures contract on CME, which trades value of GBP in US dollars, which just happens to be the same as the convention. But if I'm trading CHF contracts, it's the other way of the convention. But the futures are always value of the foreign currency in dollars. A long position in GBP futures contracts benefits from an increase in the exchange rates. A short position benefits from a decrease in the exchange rate. So let's go back to the pound contract. If I have a long position and I establish that position at 132.46, if 10 minutes later it goes to 133, did I make money or lose money? I established the position at 132.46 and the market went up to 133 and I have a long position. Am I happy or unhappy? Remember, long benefits from the increase. So I'm happy. If it went down to 131, I'm unhappy. But if I was short, going to 131 makes me happy, right? Whether you're long or short, these positions are settled daily. Okay. For example, here it says prior settled.